Push-ups are one of the oldest and most basic forms of exercises anyone can do. They're popular and they can be found in most exercise programs that you'll encounter. And the reason's pretty simple, because they work. This exercise positions all of the muscles in your body to activate synergistically in order to create a lot of power, strength, and muscular endurance. And today I wanted to dedicate this video on this simple but effective exercise. Whether you're a martial artist doing boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, or just a simple fitness enthusiast who wants to improve body conditioning, body composition, use push-up as a simple tool to get in shape. I also want to cover some of the common mistakes I see when people doing push-ups. I've been teaching martial arts and fitness for over 20 years, and I've seen all forms of push-up positioning. Some of them are okay, some of them are great, some of them are very bad. So I want to correct these today with you guys, show you some common mistakes that we see a lot in the gym, and how you can also improve your push-up positioning. I also want to teach for all the beginners out there. Some people have a hard time doing regular push-ups. I'll give you a couple of pointers that'll help strengthen your push-up game, so follow along. All right, so now I'm going to demonstrate some of the common mistakes that you guys will see. Doing push-ups, you might feel them, you might even notice that you're doing them like this after watching this video, but I'm here to correct them with you guys. So as basic as the exercise is, you'll also notice there's a lot of fine details you got to keep in mind. So at your next session, you'll probably take account of a couple of these. So I'll show you what's next. All right, so one of the most common mistakes that I see, number one, dropping just with your nose, dropping just with the upper body, or I should even say dropping just with your head. So I like to call these head push-ups, right? So I'll demonstrate a couple of reps of the wrong way, and then I'll show you what we do to fix it. First things first, people usually put their hands in a proper place. That's pretty common. But then they'll drop their head so low and almost up into a pike position. So their feet will be too close together, and then all they do is just dip their head like this, as such, and their butt is almost touching the ceiling. So technically, they're not even grazing their nose onto the mat or onto the floor. So what we need to do to correct this, a simple fix, is to reinforce core strength, reinforce abdominal muscles, as well as your lower back, hip stability, as well as your ankles to support, right? So easy fix. We'll keep our body straight. Squeeze your abs. Put your feet together. Make sure that your abs are squeezed, and then drop. As you push up, make sure that you're pushing with your palms onto the mat, or in this case onto the turf, and then drop. Head, chin, hips, and knees all at once. And back up, okay? That's the first fix. Now on to the second most common mistake. It's very similar to the first one we just talked about, but in this case, a lot of people just dip doing half reps, right? So they'll have a good body alignment, but they'll only do half top or half bottom reps. I'll demonstrate what they do. So another common mistake, right? People will have a good body alignment, but then they'll just do the first half of the reps as such. And although this is good at first to just develop stabilization, it's very difficult now for you guys to enhance the amount of push-up repetitions you'll be able to perform by just doing half reps. The other common mistake is also dropping, but not raising fully at the top. People will drop down and then just raise slightly as such. Although in Muay Thai, where we do a very similar exercise where it's just high, medium, and low, if you're trying to do full reps of push-ups, make sure that you extend all the way up. So I'll show from the front. So we'll go down and back up, down and back up, down and back up, and down, back up. So point number 1 and 2, very similar, but two major things that we see when doing push-ups. The next common mistake, very simple, not much to explain, but it's worth noting. People don't breathe when they're doing their exercises, let alone push-ups, right? So they'll go down for their push-ups, and then they'll hold their breath, and then do their rep. Go down, hold their breath again, and then do the second rep, and so on and so forth. And then they'll gas out at about 4 or 5 reps, and had they learned to breathe properly, they'll be able to do double, even triple the amount of push-ups they've been performing, right? So for example, as you'll go down, when you're pushing back off the mats, or in this case on the turf, breathe out, right? So I'm gonna do the push-up on this angle now. We'll go down, I'll breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. One more. So whether you're going slow or fast, make sure you breathe correctly. Now the next tip is to make sure that you squeeze all of the muscle groups while doing your push-ups. One of the most common myths is push-ups are only for the upper body, chest, pectorals, anterior delts, and triceps, right? But that's false. If you do push-ups correctly, and you use what we like to refer to as active tension, which simply means squeezing every muscle group in your body, right? You'll benefit much more by doing your push-ups at every session. So for example, when you're doing your push-ups, yes, you'll feel it in your pectoral muscles. Yes, you'll feel it in the triceps. Yes, front deltoids. But you also need to squeeze your abdominal muscles. You need to squeeze your gluteal muscles. You need to squeeze your quadriceps. You need to squeeze your toes, ankles, and calves, right? So by doing this, you'll create tension all over your body and get a full body workout by doing a simple exercise such as the push-up, which everyone thinks it's just for the upper body, right? So make sure that every repetition counts by squeezing everything. So I'll just do 1 or 2 reps, but technically when we're going down, make sure you're keeping tension in your glutes, squeezing your toes, calves, quads, abs, and upper body. And that's pretty much it. That's the next tip. A lot of common mistake is people just think about the upper body, but they forget to keep tension all throughout. Active tension. Keep that in mind. Man, this next mistake, we've seen these over and over. We see them all the time. They're called women's push-ups. People not being able to do push-ups, regular push-ups off their palms and feet, will actually post onto their knees doing upper body push-ups, right, to help strengthen. Although, yes, I do agree it'll alleviate some of the weight factor and you'll be able to push your upper body. It'll never teach you how to do a proper push-up. So I'll just demonstrate what I see. People will drop onto their knees, raise their feet, place their hands in front of their body. Maybe sometimes they'll even cross them as such, and then they'll go down and up and down and up. And although I do agree that these will help you do more push-ups, more repetitions, they'll never teach you how to do proper push-ups by supporting your whole body weight. And once again, recapping on the previous points, really squeezing that active tension. So now, what I suggest, make sure that you're able to plank, right? So there's a lot of exercises, a lot of tutorials out there that'll show you how to do a proper plank. Ensure that you're able to keep stable, reinforce the upper body, reinforce your core strength, lower back. A lot of people think core is just abdominal muscles. It's abdominals, back, core, all the way down through your ankles, right? That's the core strength. You're able to stabilize everything, you'll be able to have a core strength. Once you have that, make sure that you stabilize on your hands, keep your back straight, and maintain this posture for a count of 10, maybe 20, even 30 seconds. Eventually, you'll even be able to hold this for a whole minute, right? So it doesn't look like much, but just by stabilizing and squeezing the abdominal muscles, you'll reinforce the posture that's needed to strengthen your push-up position. Now on that note, the second thing that you can do is also maintaining the lower portion. So for example, we have that catch and release type push-up, right? A lot of people in fitness studios will actually go down. They'll come down, release, and push back up. Come down, release, push back up, which is a great form of exercise, by the way, because that really relieves the pressure off and you start at a full rep every time. But the factor of just pushing off the first push is actually what's going to develop your strength to push off the push-up. Think of a bench press, for example. You're loading the weight on the bar, someone gives you a spot, once the bar's in your hands, and you lower down, that's not the hard part. It's the explosion up, the eccentric part of the movement. So when you're doing push-up, The lowering of your body is not the hard part. It's the pushing off the ground that's difficult. So by doing these at home, raising your palms off the ground, and then completing a first rep at every time, you'll reinforce the power for your push-ups. One more method that you guys can use to improve your push-up is a simple box. At home, you can use a stable chair, use a stairway, just lean onto your couch. Do incline elevated push-ups, right? So the incline press, or incline push-up in this case, is actually going to help you do a proper push-up by keeping all of your body aligned, but it's going to alleviate some of the weight. So I'll demonstrate quickly here. So we would have this box, I would lead onto it, and obviously the higher the box, the easier the exercise becomes. The lower the box, more of a regular push-up position we get. So in this case, I have a nice body angle, I'm keeping the box steady. I'll go down and raise back up. What this does is that it maintains the proper body alignment that we need to reinforce our core strength to do our push-ups. So you can do these for as many repetitions as you can. Once you get maybe 10, 15, 20 reps, easy on this, go back to trying your regular push-ups onto the ground, and you'll be amazed at the results. You'll probably double up the amount of regular push-ups you were doing before trying this form of exercise to help you. Now, last but not least, there's one more point. A lot of people always question whether they should put close grip, medium grip, or wide grip as hand positions. So I always say basic recommendations. You'll see a lot of variety out there. A lot of people doing staggered push-ups, one hand high, the other hand low at the hip, and vice versa on the opposite side. These are great to improve stability and improve core strength, but when you're starting out, I always recommend placing your palms right across the alignment of your own shoulders. That's going to give you a good basis of where to do your push-ups. So I'll do them in a different angle right now, but I'll just do about 5 or 10 reps, show you guys the proper placement, and then show you a couple of variations from there. So in this case, I'll just place my palms directly under my shoulders, feet together. I'll come down with a good body alignment. And I'll do 5 much quicker. Okay? Now, these were regular push-ups done with my palms right across my shoulders. You can also do a little bit wider, which will put more tension on your pectoral muscles, or even closer, which will now alleviate more of the inner chest and more triceps. So there's many ways of doing your push-ups. Maybe in a future video, I'll show you guys a couple of variation push-ups and advanced ways of doing push-ups for the more serious athlete. But for now, I just wanted to do a quick video, just a couple of minutes to teach you a couple of pointers on what to think about the next class you're in and doing your regular push-ups. No matter if you like to do them close, medium, or wide, the decision really is yours. But at the end of the day, make sure you keep these points in mind to benefit every repetition of your push-up. It's better to do 10 good quality reps than doing 110 sloppy ones, right? I'll see you on the mats, guys. Take care.